We are following breaking news right now. This just came in moments ago. The Pentagon has announced it will revisit its investigation into the deadly bombing at Kabul airport during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. You'll remember 13 service members and 170 Afghans died during that chaotic withdrawal. The Pentagon's Central Command has now ordered interviews of dozens of service members who were at the Kabul airport as criticism grows over how the assault could have been stopped. NewsNation's Joe Khalil joins us live. So, Joe, do we know what is the Pentagon's plan when they look this over again?
Yeah, we do, Nicole. And I just want to start off by saying how significant this is, that the Pentagon is now sort of acknowledging they need to reopen this investigation into that bombing. Their plan is to go back and interview service members who survived that bombing, who were never interviewed, amazingly, for their official report. Now, the Pentagon's determination on this was that Abbey Gate bombing that, again, killed 13 service members and 170 Afghan civilians was simply not preventable at all. It was inevitable, according to the Pentagon's finding and their conclusions after doing this review. We had questions about that, and we decided to look into it not so long ago based on some new information that we had obtained here at NewsNation, and we raised new questions about whether that determination was accurate. There were a number of things that we read into and at least opened the question of whether this could have been prevented, one of which was that we found in documents with people who were interviewed shortly after the bombing that there were at least 2 requests by American intelligence officers on the ground to take out the ISIS-K cell that ultimately conducted the suicide bombing. And we knew that American intelligence on the ground had a very specific location for where that ISIS-K cell was located. Specific hotel 2 or 3 kilometers from the Abbey Gate airport. The U.S. intelligence officers asked American forces to do a strike on that location. And days before, American officials had asked the Taliban to do a strike on that ISIS-K cell. The Taliban refused to do it, and we know that American officials' requests for an airstrike was denied for some reason. We also now found out that American intelligence knew to almost the specific hour when this attack was going to happen. Days before, they called out the date, and they called out 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It ended up happening at 5:30. So there are a number of reasons to believe that American intelligence knew a whole lot about when this attack was going to happen, who was going to carry it out, and where they were. And for some reason, it still was not prevented. Now, what information the Pentagon is going to get from these service members who now they want to go back and interview, that remains to be seen. We know one of the very high-profile members they're now going to go back and talk to is Tyler Vargas Andrews. This is a Marine sniper who said under oath in a congressional hearing that he had actually had the person who he believed to be the suicide bomber in his sights. He thought he had a clear shot at him, and he requested to take that shot because he had been given information about what this person looked like, what car they were driving, and he felt confident the person he had in his scope was, in fact, the suicide bomber. For whatever reason, he was never given the green light to take that shot. Those are elements that were never in the Pentagon's report. He is going to be one person that now the Pentagon will go over and talk to. So presumably we're going to have more information from Tyler and from 19 others, according to the Pentagon, who, again, were there, survived the attack, were in Walter Reed Hospital, some of them shortly after. And we're going to presumably learn some more information. But again, it's not just us that was bringing some of these questions forward. The House Armed Services Committee also in Congress, they had questions about whether this attack could have been prevented and doubted the Pentagon's, not narrative, but their ultimate conclusion that this was totally inevitable. And the families of those 13 service members who died certainly have been saying they want to see more scrutiny and more investigation done into the attack that took their children from them. Nicole.
Yeah, this is extremely significant breaking news. All right, Joe, thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.